Yeah, her love can make a person hazy. Praying she won't break me down. Yeah. What are you doing to me now? You found a way to me somehow. Now you're all I ever dream about. Since I saw you, there's no easy way out. Hear me calling out to you. It's all that I can do. Baby, I am falling. Can't you hear me calling out to you? That's all that I can do. Tell me that you want me. Tell me that you need me. Baby, I am falling. Baby, hear me calling. Baby, I am falling. Tell me that you want me. Tell me that you need me. Hear me calling out to you. It's all that I can do. Baby, I am falling. Can't you hear me calling out to you? That's all that I can do. Tell me that you want me. Tell me that you need me.
I have good news and I have bad news. The good news is time flies. Maybe that's the bad news. Yeah, that's the bad news. The bad news is time flies. And the good news is that you are the pilot. It's your time. Use your time wisely because your time is finite. You are using your time wisely. You're using your time wisely because you are here, you are doing your yoga. This is your yoga, your way. I am Jan, this is 316 Yoga. This is your yoga from home. You do what feels good in your body, nothing else. Yoga is a healing art, not a performing art. You don't have to keep up with somebody to your left or to your right. It's all about you. And this practice is designed to make you more flexible and stronger and more mobile. Most of the practice today is on the ground, but you get to choose because it's your yoga. You're doing it from home. So here's the deal. You can sit, you can stand, you can do it on your mat. Totally up to you. It's your choice. As the bottom of the screen says, do what's right for your body. You can do this, all of it. You can do all of our practices because the M word, you modify to make it work for you. Main thing is you're showing up. You're committing to consistency. You're here. I'm here every day live for you, live start to finish. 1 hour long. You think, oh, that's a long time. 1 hour, that's what I'm here. And the recordings stay up for a while on Facebook and YouTube. But for 1 hour, we're going to practice. If you can only hack 10 minutes of it, if you can only manage that into your schedule, just do that 10 minutes. Maybe you lie on your mat in this first pose I'm going to give you today. Maybe you lie on your mat in that pose the whole time. It's okay. It's totally okay. You're going to need some props today to make your practice more accessible. A couple yoga blocks, a strap or a belt from your favorite robe, have your water nearby, and let's get started. Okay, the first thing you're going to do is to lock in a stress number on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 to 10. Just give it a number real quick, and let's come into, as we enjoy our time on the mat, let's come into pentacle pose. Oh, yay. All right, so pentacle pose. I got to get rid of this. Piper, go. Thank you. All right, so your pentacle pose. Here you go. You're going to lie down. So make your way down to your mat and lie down completely on your back. Spread your legs, spread your arms up high overhead. Here's a word I'd like you to think about today as you let time go, as you let the world go. I mean, just let everything go. All right, the word to think about is time. Sometimes it speeds up, sometimes you want it to slow down, but time is truly your most valuable resource. And how are you spending your valuable time? And here's the question, what do you choose? Choose, it's your choice. What do you choose to spend your time on? All right, let's go. All the way down, fully reclined, arms up overhead. Get comfortable here. Bring your body to look like a capital letter X shape. If that doesn't work, kind of snow angel your arms down a little bit to where it's comfortable. You don't want to hurt. Distinguish between pain and discomfort. If something's uncomfortable, maybe you can breathe through it. If it is painful, you come out of it. You don't want to experience pain. All right, so if someone were to look down on you, you look like a big letter X or something like that. Take a deep breath in through your nose and a big sighing breath out through your mouth. Let it go. Soften into your body and let everything be heavy. We've got about 35 poses today. That's quite a bit, isn't it? But you'll be amazed at how much better you'll feel when the practice is done. How much lower that stress number will be when the practice is done. So hold on here. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Just reflect for a moment how you are choosing to spend your time. Breathe in, sigh it out. Let the troubles of the world go. And when you're ready, if you like, you can close your lips eventually and try to breathe in and out of your nose. Deep breaths in, be aware of your belly filling up. And deep breaths out. You want to take the deep breaths. It helps you relax. As you hollow out your belly, send your belly button back to your spine for those big, full exhales. Soften the area between your eyebrows. Let your pinky toes fall a little bit closer to the mat. No rocket science here. You're just lying comfortably on your mat, a real safe place, and taking deep breaths. Stay here if you like. That's true of any of the poses. Stay in them longer if you wish. I'm going to go into that pose we call banana asana. So think of the shape of a banana and bring your legs together at the midline of your body, kind of letting your ankles or your big toes touch. Bring your arms up overhead and bring your palms together to touch, so your biceps are near your ears. Now work your legs, your heels, toward the bottom right corner of your mat, and then let your arms go in that same direction to the top corner of your mat. So your body's curved like a banana. And it doesn't matter how far you go. What matters is your shoulder. Keep your left shoulder down as you curve to the right, and keep your left hip down as well. So this is a lateral flexion, sideways movement of your spine. Feel the stretch from your leg, practically from your armpit all the way down, 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 down to your left toe, your left little pinky toe. Let's add some fun to this. Let's take our right hand and grab your left wrist and give it a little gentle pull. You can also take your left leg and lift it up and cross at the ankles. How does that feel? Let it intensify the pose. Now take a moment here, maybe pull the arm a little more, and just feel what you feel. Keep your left hip down, keep that left shoulder down too. And just feel that good stretch on your left side. All right, heel comes back down, palms back together to touch. Bring it all back to the center, and let's just reset here. Big breath in, find length through your fingers. Big breath out, soften up. Right shoulder stays down, right hip stays down. Now work your left fingers to the left top corner of your mat. Work your hands to the left top corner of your mat, all your fingers. Work your heels to the bottom left corner of the mat and enjoy this stretch. No rush, no hurry. Just feel what you feel. And give yourself a pat on the back for being here, for taking the time, using this time wisely as you work on your body. Take your left hand now, if you like, and pull your right wrist just a little bit to intensify that stretch. Right leg can lift and cross over the ankle. as you breathe deeply. As you breathe in, just kind of feel the stretch between each rib. Palms back together to touch. Uncross the legs and bring them back to the midline of your body. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Let your arms float down a little bit so your elbows are in line with your shoulders. Cactus your arms out, kind of like a big goalpost, and let the backs of your hands touch the mat or the earth. Bend your knees. Open up your knees to the sides of the room. Let the soles of your feet touch as you come into this reclined goddess pose or butterfly pose. So take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. So butterfly, full butterfly in the legs, cactused arms. Chest is lifted as each inhale fills your lungs. And each exhale, think of your knees getting closer to the earth. Soften in your glutes and breathe in your little goddess pose. No rush, no hurry. Don't worry about how your pose looks. As long as it feels good, that's all that counts. It's doing good things for your body. Deep breath in and a deep breath out. You got it. All right, let's bring our arms, let them float down by your side. Bring your knees back together to touch. Send your legs long and press on up to a seated position. Let's do a forward fold. Toes up toward the sky, legs long. Lift your arms up high to the sky and then fold in half. Reach your arms forward. They're parallel to each other. Reach them forward, toes up toward the sky. Reach, reach, reach. Now take a restorative forward fold. Bring your hands down to your calves, your knees, whatever you can touch. Elbows hugged in. Look to your knees. As you hollow out your belly, maybe bring your forehead or your chin a little closer to your knees. Come on back up. Shoulders over your hips. Bend one leg. Bend one leg a lot. And then bring the sole of that foot up into the thigh of the extended leg. So lengthen up. And fold forward here. Walk your hands forward. You could use your block if you like that. And then just push it forward. Fold forward a little bit here, keeping both bottom cheeks down, trying to keep the knee down. Try not to let the knee pop up too much. And just stretch. Breath in, breath out. As you're ready, slide the block on back, and guess what? We're going to switch to the other leg. Extend the other leg long, switch it out so that the sole of the opposite foot is touching the inner thigh, legs spread wide, you can sit, shoulders over hips, and rest here, or slide the block out. And the block doesn't have to go far. You decide how far you take it. You're choosing your yoga, your way to what feels great for your body. But you've just got to move. You've just got to stretch. You've just got to find that flexibility and mobility. And you know what? It's going to make you happier. It's going to make you feel better in your head. And perhaps that's the most important thing. Breathe in. Breathe out. And if you're just doing this pose to 10%, it's A-okay. You know, you've got to start somewhere. New year, new opportunities to excel. You just got to try. Maybe you're still in pentacle. That's trying. That's excellent. Slide it on back. Shoulders up over your hips. Now do your wide-legged forward fold. Grab your block or 2 or 3, however many you want. Set your legs wide. Bring the blocks in between your legs. Lengthen up through the crown of your head. Stay right here. Put a little bend in your knees if that feels better. Then bring your elbows on down to your block. Maybe you stay right here. Maybe you rest your head on your hands. Maybe you bring your palms down to your block and hinge more forward. Now your blocks, they got lots of height, so use them. All right, maybe you're new to yoga, and maybe today, this is just about where you want to be. This is where you can go. Don't judge yourself. That's the hardest thing. We are so self-critical, aren't we? But take it to what's right for you and stay in a pose that works for you. Settle in and just breathe here. Now you've got lots of blocks with lots of different heights. Adjust to what feels right today. I remember when I took a yoga teacher training course, one of the things we had to do was you had to pick which pose you were going to stay in for the entire practice. While everybody else around you was doing all the different poses, you had to choose. Maybe stay in child's pose throughout the whole practice. It was a good exercise. It teaches you a lot about yourself. You always want to keep up with the other person, and you don't need to. Maybe what speaks to you is staying in your pentacle or whatever pose. Give yourself that permission. It's easier when you're home alone, right? But just recognize you don't have to do everything, and not everything is for you today. All right, how is it feeling? Now we're taking our time here. We're going to pick up the pace in a little bit. But our restorative practices on Thursday and Sunday, we hold poses for a long period of time. And the interesting thing about that is after, a few minutes in this pose, say, for example, your body just surrenders and it takes you to new levels and depths of the pose. So check out those practices too. All right, let's come out of this wide-legged forward fold, if it's right for you. And let's come into another forward fold. Bring your legs together to touch, toes up toward the sky. Reach your arms up to the sky and then reach forward. All right, so think about this. You got everything you do. The two most powerful warriors in everything you do are patience. That's real hard. Patience with yourself and time. Patience and time. Let them work for you. All right, reach your hands down, capture your calves, your legs, whatever, and then come on down with your forehead toward your knees. Would you go back to your mat, please? Piper, go. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. That intentional, slow yoga breathing in and out of the nose helps foster relaxation and calmness in your body, and we need more of that. All right, let's come on up. Shoulders over your hips. Come out of that pose. Let's come into Thunderbolt. All right, so Thunderbolt is when you come to your knees and have a seat on your heels. So the tops of your feet are on your mat, and you just have a seat in this pose called Thunderbolt. This is going to help because later on we're going to do Hero's pose, and this helps get you there. So hold on here and maybe grab your towel or your strap. We're going to do a cow face pose. All right, here we go. Send your arms high up to the sky. Lengthen up, stretch, bend one elbow, and take the other hand and capture that elbow. Hug it in towards your ear. Give yourself that well-needed, well-deserved pat on the back with your hand. All right. So there you go. Really capturing that elbow helps. Helps pull it in. Hold it here. Now, if you've got your towel nearby, here's what you can do. Take the towel in the arm that's bent, take it in the hand, and hold it. Take the other arm, maybe reach around and grab the towel from behind. And then with that lower hand, pull the towel. Feel the stretch in your tricep, the muscle along the back of your arm, and just hold it here. Now you can floss too, just kind of move the towel up and down if that feels good in your shoulders. Shoulder mobility is so important. So find the shoulder mobility that you can find. Give it a little tug. Maybe work the hand up closer and give it a tug. Other side, let's switch it out. Other arm bends. Put the towel in that hand, maybe, or if you don't want to use the towel, don't. Take the other arm, hug that elbow in toward your ear. Hold it here. That's plenty of a stretch. But if you got the towel in your hand, reach around, capture it, and pull it. Soften in your jaws, soften in your shoulders, and enjoy this stretch in the back of the arm. Maybe floss a little bit, moving the towel up and down. Just think of space in that shoulder. Breathe in, breathe out. You got it going on. All right, let's finish. Remove your towel. Tee out your arms nice and big and wide and give yourself a big hug. Let the arms cross at the front of the body. Hug yourself. Let the elbows overlap. Work your fingers towards your spine. Shoulders are going to be up near your ears. Soften them. As you soften them, think of driving the shoulders to the sides of your room. Hello, Tammy and Liz and Betty and Marietta and Stan and Rena and Leslie and Tim and Judy and Gina. How are you? Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Really feel that tight squeeze of the hug. Open up the arms again, and then bring the opposite arm on top, if you can remember which one that is. And then give yourself a big hug again. Shoulders away from the ears, breathe in, and breathe out. Let it go. All right, let's come into a child's pose. Remove your arms, how's that? All right, child's pose, let's do it this way. Bring your knees together to touch. Have a seat back on your heels. Think of that thunderbolt pose. Reach your arms long and strong to the top of your mat. Keep your knees together here and let your forehead come down to your mat. You can always use a block to bring the ground up to you if that's more comfortable. Or use your half block. If the big block is a little too high and the ground is a little too low, use that half block to make this work for you. Stretch through your armpits. Breathe in, breathe out. Send your heels down toward the earth and send your bottom back toward the back of the room as you find a little extra length in your tailbone. Let's work our knees a little further apart. You keep your big toes together, but you can see you're working into a wide-legged child's pose here. Arms extended, because we're going to do a broken wing in just a moment. So we want to find that space in the armpits. All right, I'm going to work my knees a little more apart. And you may want to turn 90 degrees on your mat so the pad of the mat can stay underneath your knees. Or maybe you slip a towel under your knees. All right, so the wider I spread my knees, the more I want to push into the mat and sliding my hands more forward to increase the depth of the stretch in the groin. All right, so this is a tadpole pose. Tadpoles turn into frogs eventually, so work your toes away so your legs feel like frog legs, right? Work them away and enjoy the stretch here. You know how far you want to go. This one's really intense. I had a student not too long ago who was able to really do this and bring her whole pelvis down to the mat. So everybody's different. Everybody's pose looks different. Don't criticize how yours looks, because it's working. It's working for you, and that's all that matters. Find greater length in your spine. And then let's come out of this. Bring your hands under your shoulders. Bring your knees in so they are underneath your hips. And now let's do a cat-cow pose. All right, so you're in a neutral tabletop. Your shoulders are over your wrists. Your knees are under your hips. Your spine is long. Lengthen through the crown of your head and lengthen through your tailbone. Nice flat back. When you're ready, cat pose. Tuck your chin to your chest, tuck your tailbone under, arch your back to the sky. Cow pose, it's complementary pose. Crown of the head and tailbone lift to the sky. So do a couple of these cat-cows, exhaling for cat, inhaling for cow. Move your spine. Curl it into a letter C, then curl it the other way into a letter C. Back and forth. Movement in your spine. Ooh, having a sore back and a stiff back and a backache is no fun. You got to move it to preclude it, right? Use your time wisely. You don't want to spend your time with a hurt back. Move it every single day so you can do the things you want to do. All right, let's come into a neutral tabletop. Let's do bird dog pose. Send your right leg up, 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 knee to about hip height. Right leg extends. Let your heel come a little bit higher so your leg is parallel with the rest of your body. Lift your left arm and reach and stretch. Push hard into the ground with the top of your left foot and your right hand and stretch it out here. Lengthen here. You're looking down to your right thumb. You're stretching even further, elongating your spine. Stretch even further through the fingers, through the heel. Breathe. Hold it. Bring it on down, hand down, knee meets other knee. Lift your left leg up. Extend your left leg long. Reach your right arm long. Stretch. Be as long and as strong as you can here. Stretch, reach, you got it. Now let's alternate. Left, right, left, right. Hand comes down, knee comes down. Right knee up, leg extends, left arm extends. Stretch. Hand and knee come down, other side. Right arm long, left leg long. Stretch. Do it again, other side. Pick up the pace to however you want the pace to be, but just don't skimp on that extension. Really stretch it out. Then come down and stretch out the other side. Maybe one more on each side, even out. And there you go. There's your bird dog pose. Lots of space in your spine now, right? Okay, let's slide on down to your belly. Let's tee out our left arm. Right arm bends underneath the shoulder. Roll on to your left side. You're going to feel this in your left shoulder. Move and adjust your arm so it feels right for you. Maybe you like a bend in the left elbow. Maybe you like to bring the left arm down a little bit closer to your side, or maybe you want to extend it to shoulder height. Legs can be long on your mat, and the work is in the right hand. The right hand, which is bent, is like a little elevator. You're going to push into the earth a little bit more to intensify the pose. Now your legs can get in on this game too if you want. If you want to just put a little bend in them, you can do that. Or you can keep them nice and long and straight. The top leg, the right leg, you can bend it and put the sole of the right foot onto the mat in front of you. And kind of think of sending the knee higher up to the sky. Breathe here. Another option, always options. That right leg, the one on top, maybe you bend it and bring it behind the extended lower leg and press it into the earth and still drive the knee up to the sky. Take which variation you like. Let's come out of this. Roll onto your belly. Extend the other arm, the right arm. And remember, you can put a bend in the elbow. You can bring it more down like a bird wing if you like, or keep it at shoulder height. You decide. Roll onto the right hip. Left arm bends. Left hand to the mat. Push into that left arm so you feel this nice stretch in the right shoulder. Legs can be long. A little bit of a fetal position bent if you like. Top leg, the left leg can bend, and you can put the sole of the foot onto the mat behind you or in front of you. Do the variation you like. Push into that hand so you can feel it in the shoulder. Not the most comfortable pose in the world, but for me it's also not painful, because if it were painful I'd adjust. But it's certainly not real comfortable for me. Is it comfortable for you? Push it to the limits, within reason. All right, let's finish. There is your broken wing pose. How do you like it? All right, let's press on up. And let's just take a little drink of water for just a second, and then we're going to go into plank. We do a plank just about every day because a plank helps build strength. All right, so here's what you can do. If you're just starting out and it's a New Year's resolution and you're kind of new to getting back into things, you can do this 1 minute plank. First of all, you don't have to do it for a minute. You do it as long as you want. We're going to set a timer up there for a second. But here's one you can probably do for a minute. And here's what you'd do. You'd come down onto your back, put your blocks in your hands, and push them up toward the sky. Imagine, that you're 180 degrees out and that you're in a perfect plank pose. You can do that. Here's another variation you can do. Now, remember that neutral tabletop? You can spread your legs a little bit, adjust them, you'll know where to put them. Send your weight more forward into your arms, but have your shoulders over your wrists for stability. You can stay right here. Maybe knees go wider, kind of like a little frog plank or frog push-up, and you can press into the earth here. So you do what feels good for you. Here's another variation. If it's too much on the wrists, you could come down to your forearms, hands press into the mat. Adjust your legs, send them a little bit longer, and hold here. Weight is forward like a sphinx in the arms. You can stay down on your knees, or you can tuck your toes towards your shins and lift on up and hold a dolphin plank. I'm gonna take a high plank today, and we're gonna set a 1-minute timer for a high plank, and any of these is good. High plank, shoulders over wrists, arms forward, weight is forward, legs go long, feet go hip-width distance apart. And let's start the timer. All right, here we go, 1 minute. So here's the deal. Your feet are hip-width distance apart in your high plank. Your shoulders are over your wrists. Your fingers are spread wide. You are lengthening through your spine. You're trying to keep your body, I'm gonna bring mine down a little bit, trying to keep your body nice and straight. All right, so we're 15 seconds in. Hold it here. However long you take it is great. Don't worry about it. The timer is just there for you to measure if you want. Okay, we're about halfway there, 30 seconds in. Now the beauty of this is you want to take a break, come to your knees. Just a breath or two reinvigorates, and then pop back into the game. Lift on up. Here's another variation. We got 15 seconds to go. You could send your hips high. That's a downward facing dog pose. That's a little bit of a break too. Hold on here, 10 seconds to go. Push the earth away, breathe, elongate through your spine. Think of how it felt when you did bird dog. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're done. Come down to your knees, take a break, maybe take another drink of water as you make your way into, remember bound angle with Goddess? Let's do it. Now, however you did in your plank, A+. You know, always think of choosing purpose over perfection. What's perfect anyway? Soles of the feet touch for your Goddess, knees open wide. Find your strap or your belt to your robe, bring it up by your shoulders and come on down. Come on down slowly and recline. Remember Goddess? Whew. Arms down by your arms down, elbows to about shoulder height, if that works. Press the backs of your hands into your mat. How do your shoulders feel? Worked on them a lot. Nice and strong shoulders, from that big hug to the cow face pose, even to bird dog. Bird dog found space in your shoulders, and so did that broken wing. How do your shoulders feel now? Breathe in. Breathe out. Let's now bring our arms down by our sides. Bring your knees together to touch. We're gonna do boat pose. We do this one a lot, and there's lots of ways to take it. I'm gonna use the strap today, but if you don't wanna use the strap, you can do that too. Press on up, either with or without your hands. Press on up to a seated position. Maybe you slip the center of the strap underneath your feet. All right, lean on back and use the strap. The strap just kind of makes it kind of fun. All right, so big thing here, don't collapse and round your shoulders. Keep your back nice and straight. Lean on back, holding onto this strap really tightly. Hug the elbows in and then let the heels come up. Hold it here. So, legs can be straight. You can put a little bend in the legs. What feels good for you? You can have no strap at all like we did yesterday, and we'll do it lots of different ways, but it's good to shake it up and try different ways. Lengthen up, shoulders away from the ears. Now play with the height of your boat. Maybe you lower the heels a little bit, find your balance, maybe you lift them a little higher, and play with it. It's your boat pose. Remember, you're choosing purpose. Oh, and this is giving you a nice balance, isn't it? And you're strengthening your core. Choose purpose over perfection, right? What's perfect anyway? All right, how are you doing with this? Lift your chest a little higher. Breathe. All right, and I always like to say, and it's kind of cute, I hope you think it's cute, but turn up the sides of your mouth, put a smile on your face, be happy for what you can do. All right, let's finish. Remember that forward fold? Let's use the strap this time. Keep your toes up toward the sky, walk your hands down both straps, bring your forehead toward your knees. Breathe in, your chest rises, exhale, belly empties. Finish. Remove the strap and find those 2 blocks. How are you doing? Are you having fun yet? I hope so. All right, fun is part of it, okay? All right, bring your blocks to your sides. At whatever height you like. Right leg forward, knee over ankle. Left leg, send it long on your mat. Put a towel underneath it if that feels better. You want to send it long so the top of the left foot is on the mat. Press on up, a little or a lot, or maybe you just keep your hands right on your blocks. I'm going to bring my shoulders over my hips. You do what feels right for you. Breathe here, bring your arms up to the sky. Little baby back bend if you like, you don't have to. Hands back to prayer center or back to your blocks. Let's begin the surfing here. Right leg is going to straighten. Straighten and then rebend. Straighten and bend. Hands wherever you want, on your prayer center or on your blocks for stability. And you can move those blocks to feel more stable. Really try to take it a little farther maybe. Maybe work your bottom down to your left heel. Then walk the blocks forward or no blocks at all. Play with it. So think of the good stretch you're getting in your hip flexors, the front of your hips and your knee, right? Don't hesitate to use that towel under your knee or fold your mat so it's double thickness. Just make your knees comfy. All right, let's finish. Other side. Both knees meet on the mat. Left legs turn to come forward, knee over ankle. Let's get this set up. Send the right leg back. Top of the right foot on the mat. Oh, you feel that intensely in the right hip flexors. All right, hands on your blocks. Stay there if you want. Press up a little bit or even more. Maybe, it's all maybe, arms reach to the sky, look up. Maybe reach to the back of your room and you look up right overhead. Hands back to prayer center, shoulders over hips. Hands back to your blocks, start to surf. That's just the left leg straightening and bending. Use your blocks to walk it on back as far as you like. You don't have to sit on your heel. You know, go where it's right for you. But most importantly, listen to your body. And just try. You know, don't ever say the yoga's too hard. Modify it. You make the yoga work for you. And then let's finish with this surfing. How are you doing? All right, so now you got a choice. You got a choice of 3 things. Remember pentacle pose, how we did that? Maybe come into pentacle where you lie on your back and look like that big letter X. Or maybe you go back to that child's pose. Maybe you like that, so you can stay on your mat. Or I'm gonna come up to standing, just do a little bit of standing. All right, so come on up to stand. And here's the deal. The fun thing about these poses, you know them. Fun thing about this is you can do them lying down as well. We're gonna start with you will look taller. Think of the first letter of each of those words. Zip your legs up, and if you're lying down, you can do this too. Bring your arms to a letter Y. So those of you that are in pentacle on the ground, just bring your legs together. Big letter Y for the word you. Big letter W now, bringing the elbows down the side, pressing the backs of your hands to the back wall for the letter W. You will, 2 L's, hug in the elbows toward the waist. You will look, tee out your arms, and pulse your hands to the back of the room or press them into your mat if you're lying down. You will look taller because your posture's going to improve, but you will also look terrific because you're standing up straighter and you feel better in your body. Let's do it again. You, remember to press the backs of the hands to the back of the wall. Will look taller. Okay, you got that down, right? 2 times. Let's do it a 3rd time, but this time just focus on the feeling in your shoulders and in your back. You will feel the tightness of those muscles all up and down the spine. Look, squeeze the elbows in, T, pulse the arms out, taller. There you go. All right, let's let the arms float down by your sides, give them a wiggle. Now in this standing pose, we didn't do toes pose and ankle pose today, but we're gonna stretch the calf out differently. Find your block, press your, the ball of the foot. Think of a straight line there going horizontally on the foot. Press it into the block. Press it into the block and lean a little forward and hold it here as you stretch out the calf. Now if you're reclined, what you can do is just draw your toes up more towards your shin and your knee. Just let that go. And kind of embrace the burn here. I'm going to switch my feet, bringing the ball of the left foot onto the edge of that block, and I'm going to hinge forward a little bit. Stretch it out. We'll do toes pose and ankle pose tomorrow in our restorative practice. I'm going to stand up a little straighter here and take the stretch a little deeper. You know, move to what feels right for you. Only you know your body. Maybe your calves are really tight. Maybe your calves are really loose. Just feel what you feel. Let it feel good. Breathe. All right, let's finish. All right, calves are nice and loose now. Let's come to standing. Let's do tree pose. If you're reclined, you can do the same thing. You're just on a different plane. Bring your hands to prayer center. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. I'm going to bend one knee, and I'm going to open up that knee to the side of the room. I'm going to place the heel of the bent leg, side of my body, onto the ankle, inner ankle of the other foundational leg. Slip the bent leg on up a little bit. Maybe you have a chair nearby for balance. Maybe you bring it up even higher. Push the foot into the leg and the leg into the foot. Here's where you focus. Focus where the ceiling and the wall meet. It makes a difference. Think of length. Remember bird dog. Think of the length you had in your spine. Bring your hands to prayer center. Push the foot into the leg and the leg into the foot. Use a chair if you want to hold on to for balance. Maybe grow your branches. You got to focus here. And sway your branches a little bit or a lot. Bring your hands back to prayer center. Guide the knee to the front of the room and plant the foot down. You really got to focus. Nothing else matters. You can't think about anything else in this pose. That's why it's just so good. Yoga brings you into the present moment, a place most of us aren't. We're worrying about tomorrow or thinking about yesterday. Root into the other leg. Bend the other leg, the other leg. Bring the foot to wherever is right for you. Just always remember, you don't want to put this foot on the knee, putting pressure, sideways pressure on the knee. Not a good thing to do. The knees weren't designed to bend out. Breathe, focus, grow a branch or two, or hold on to that chair. It's all good. Lengthen through your spine, root through that foot. You got it, you're strong. And when you're ready, hands back to prayer center. Guide the knee to the front of the room, plant the foot down. Your hands are in prayer. Close your eyes, lengthen up, tell yourself something good in this time, in this moment. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Humble warrior. This is a big challenge for those of us that are standing. All right, here's the deal. We're going to take it in layers. Bend your knees a little bit or more, you decide. So you're in like a chair pose. You can really feel it in your thighs. I'm going to lift the right leg up, and I'm going to create like a figure 4 in my legs. So the outside of my ankle is on that left thigh or a little beyond. So you got a number 4 here in your legs. Hands to prayer center. Look down to your left foot. It's moving, it's wiggling, it's embracing the earth, and it's micro wiggling to keep my balance. Hands, if you want, release them from prayer and bring them behind your low back. Let the interlaced fingers work up the back wall as your gaze goes to your left foot or your knee. Nice big stretch in your buttocks, right? I mean, feel it in those glute muscles. Hands float back to a prayer position. Right foot meets left. Sit low in your chair. Left leg now lifts and creates a figure 4. Maybe this is where you stay with the assistance of a chair or your wall nearby. It's all good. Perhaps you release your hands, let them float on back, interlace the fingers, and send the arms up the back wall. You're looking at your right toes now, feeling the nice stretch in your left glutes. Hands float back to prayer. Left foot meets right, stay low in your chair. And then let's come on down and meet our friends who stayed on the mat. Humble warrior pose takes us into a reclined hero. All right, so maybe you want to just sit back on your heels and take this thunderbolt pose. I'm going to work my knees apart, and I'm going to work my ankles apart. And I'm going to have a seat on my bottom between my legs. So my shins are parallel to the sides of my mat. If that's too much, take your block, sit on your block, and be happy with what you've got. Don't sweat it. It's all good. You don't have to be good at the yoga. It's just about being consistent, not hurting yourself, and just moving. Don't sweat it. All right, so I'm going to sit with my bottom on the mat. Legs are really, really bent, like chicken legs, right? All right, so let's bring our arms on back. Now you could use a block back here too. You could push your hands into the block as you have the blocks bring the ground up to you. You can have no blocks at all and walk your hands on back. The thing is, try to keep your knees down and together a little bit on the mat. When they start going this way and that, back out of it. Have control. All right, so I'm going to slip on down. Now you could slip down to your elbows here, your forearms on those blocks, or no blocks. Make it work for you. Now, I'm going to bring my shoulders down. You can give yourself a foot massage. Breathe here. Your arms. Remember Goddess, how we cactused the arms out like a goalpost? You can do that. Or you can bend them even more, bring them up overhead, and reach your hands for opposite elbows like you do in a ragdoll pose. Hold on here. This is a huge stretch for your quads. If you're a runner, if you're a cyclist, golfer, if you walk, you want to stretch out your quads. Breathe here. This is the fullest expression of your hero's pose. You take it and express it any way you want. I'm gonna let the arms float on down. I'm gonna bring my hands to my heels. I'm gonna press on up through my elbows and maybe through my hands and come on out of that hero's pose. Maybe you wanna stay longer in hero's pose because it feels so good for you. I'm gonna come on out. I'm gonna bring my legs around, sit, like crisscross applesauce if you want, or I'm gonna do a seated twist. To do that, I'm gonna start with bending my right leg. I'm gonna bend it generously, and I'm gonna bring my other leg on top. Knees are crisscrossed, and I'm gonna turn to, with my left hand, I'm gonna place it behind my back. So the left leg for me, the left leg is on top. Sorry, I didn't mirror this. The left leg is on top. My left arm is gonna kickstand, and then I'm gonna turn to the left. Then I'm gonna gently counterbalance it by turning lightly to the right. Now I'm gonna switch my legs. I'm going to bend the left, bring the right on top, knees meet, heels toward the hips, right leg on top, right hand comes around, kickstands, and I'm gonna twist to the right. Then I'm gonna twist gently to the left. And that's it. All right, so let's come onto our bellies for Superman. Onto your belly, arms reach long to the top, legs are long. Don't worry about where they are. Just have the tops of your feet on your mat. Bring your nose down to your mat. Think Superman, Superman flying. Maybe today your Superman just lifts his right leg or his left leg. Lift both legs up, perhaps, and balance on the pelvis. Maybe the arms too. Maybe one arm lifts, then the other, or maybe both. Fly like Superman, lift a little higher in the legs and the arms and hold. Take it to a Pilates pose, swimmer. Kick your feet. Kick your feet. Arms are just gonna move by themselves, let them go. Kick, breathe, swimmer. Come on down, bring your chin down to your mat. take it to an airplane pose. Send your arms back. So your arms are long by your sides, palms face down, chin, nose to the ground, ears, shoulders away from them, arms lift up, legs lift up, chin lifts and fly like an airplane or a locust. Breathe. Bend your elbows, hands come down, hands under your shoulders, press on up, seal pose. In your seal pose, look forward. Breathe in, soften in your glutes, breathe out. When you're ready, press it back to a child's pose. Wide knees, hips back to your heels, arms reach long to the top of your mat. Let your forehead come down toward your mat. Maybe if you remember back to your first child's pose, your head was a mile away from the ground. Maybe you used 2 blocks under your forehead. Maybe now you can get it a little closer to the earth, but don't sweat it. It's all good. Let's come out of this pose and let's come into final Shavasana. Best pose of the practice, right? Okay, so eye shade and or towel, come on down to reclined. All the way down, cover your eyes with your eye shade or your towel. Arms down by your sides, palms face up. Wiggle and tuck your shoulders under your spine, so you feel like your heart is a little more lifted. Heels toward the bottom edges of your mat, pinky toes fall closer to the earth. Eyes are closed. Take a big breath in and a big sighing breath out. Let it go out your mouth. And come back to any type of breathing that is comfortable for you. Just be aware of your breath and this present moment. Soften the area between your eyebrows. Shoulders away from the ears. Arms heavy. And legs heavy too. Deep breaths in and deep breaths out. Enjoy this time in your final Shavasana pose. One of the things you can do is have your remote control nearby and hit pause here to allow you to rest longer in this pose. Maybe you take 5 minutes. Maybe you take 20 minutes. Just breathe, nothing else. And then when it's time for you to carry on with life, just unpause the video and take a deep breath in. And a big sighing breath out. Make it audible. Let it go. Refresh, restore, let's go. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Spread your fingers and toes wide. Make a fist with your hands. Squeeze your toes toward the sole of your foot. Nice and tense and strong. And then release. Let it go. Wiggle fingers, wiggle toes, wiggle wrists, wiggle ankles. Take a big breath in, reach high overhead and stretch. Point your toes long, almost like bird dog. Remember, from your toes to your fingers, find length. Breathe. Big good morning stretch like you take before you get out of bed in the morning. Bend your knees, bend your elbows, roll into a fetal position onto one side or the other. Rest your head on your bicep. Think back to that cow face pose, how you pat yourself on the back. Maybe pat yourself here too. Take a deep breath in And a deep breath out. Savor this moment, savor this breath, savor the time that you have created here on your mat for you to do your yoga. Appreciate it. As you're ready, maybe eyes stay closed. Press on up with or without your hands. Eyes opened or closed, whatever feels good. Crisscross your legs because your knees have all that synovial fluid flowing in them and they feel really good now because you did your yoga. Hands to prayer center for a moment of gratitude and appreciation for what your body did for you. Take a deep breath in and lengthen up through the crown of your head. And a big breath out as you sigh it out and your shoulders relax, your knees come closer to the earth and you root into the earth beneath you. Gently blink your eyes open. Congratulations, you did it. A 1 hour long yoga practice. I hope the time went quickly for you because it's time well spent. Okay, here's the deal. Stress number you took in the beginning, what was it? What is it now? How do you feel? Don't you just feel better in your body? All right, time. Time is ticking and time, is finite, but we act like it's not, don't we? Use your time wisely, just like you did in this last hour. Take care of the one and only wonderful you. Really, it's true. All right, see you on your mats tomorrow, guys. Thanks for being here. Tell your friends about us and join us on Facebook and YouTube every single day live. Tell your friends. They need to feel better too. I appreciate you. Check out our private group on Facebook. It's called Friends of 316 Yoga. Ask for admittance. I'll let you in and we'll share some fun articles as the year unfolds and we have a great yoga time together. Love you guys. Bye. Hey, you. How are you? Good girl. You're still here, and I'm really glad for that. Keep this in mind. The path is made through repetition. Keep showing up, and good things will happen. You know that. I'm glad that you're still sticking around. Tell your friends what the yoga's doing for you. Our yoga is free for anybody and everybody on Facebook and YouTube, and they can join in anytime from the privacy of their own home. Tell them about our practice, please. If you'd like to support our broadcast, you can visit our website. It's www.316yoga.com. Stay on your path. Enjoy your yoga and have a great rest of your day. See you on your mats tomorrow.